What's up with it, everyone? On this video we're going to do a ball fade on the sides of his head so we can give him the mohawk that he wants. Hope this video will be helpful to you. If it is helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with what I come out with. But I feel this one is long, but it should be helpful and really detailed so you can be able to accomplish this if you're a beginner barber. But with that, let's get into it. This is TK with Cuts by Kelly. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna cut the side of this guy's hair. We're gonna do a ball fade on the side, and we're gonna debulk it. Like I stated in the previous video, I just wanted to break it down. So we're gonna go to the debulking steps first, and in this process right here, we simply just laying out our fade, area, so we can fade after this. So anytime I'm about to do this debulking, I just set my bottom line, my middle guideline, and then I remove all the weight out of the hair before I start fading. Another thing I want to point out, I have another video that I go over the fading steps because some people may not understand what I mean when I'm talking about closed quarter and 3/4. Like right now you can see I have my clipper all the way open and I'm setting my middle guideline. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, there's a link that I'm gonna leave right here on the top corner, and you could just click it so you can get a better understanding of what I mean with closed quarter and 3/4 and open. But anyway, in this debulking stage, what we do is we set our bottom guideline, which you see is bald. Then I set my middle guideline, and right now I have my number 1 or the 1/8 guard, and I have my blade all the way open, and I'm just removing all the hair because that's going to be the highest point of my fade. So I'm going to remove all the hair around the side at the top so I can just prep for the fade.
Given the option of either dying or becoming one. Homie, I know it cause I did it. I hustle cause I fear my way of living. If I didn't, I'm familiar with the prison of the mind, but in him is no fear. Lord, save those who though having ears don't hear. Please. Cause we done felt a lot of pain. So Lord, I know you feel us. And we done seen a lot of things. So my praise.
So right now we're about to go over the fading process. So we have our zero guard closed, and we're just knocking out that middle line that we made, and we're going up like a quarter of the way, because this top half we divide in 4: close, quarter, 3/4, and open. That's the 4 levels that we use to do this top part of the fade. And so we're doing that with our zero guard or the 1/16 guard on there. Something to keep in mind, each time you go up, just make sure you go over those sections. Like when you go up with close, go over that section 2 or 3 times to make sure you get the hair off evenly. That will help you out when you get to the end of the fade. You won't see so many spots that you have to clean up when you do your spot check. If you go over each section 2 or 3 times, you're going to get majority of the hair off, and the blend will look more seamless when you're finished with it. Right now we're at a quarter of the way up, and so after this we're going to go 3/4, and then we have open for our last part with the 1/16 guard on.
So deep, so deep, so deep.
So y'all can see the fade is coming together at the top. We did the first step we did was close, quarter, and 3/4, and right now I believe we're at open. We're doing our last part of it, and we're just continuing to go over the sections to make sure we got it nice and even in that area. And it would, when you're going up, just make sure you also use the corner of your clipper. You're gonna take off just what you need, but you won't create another heavy line that you have to get out.
This is a remix. Get a beat, flip, rip it to pieces. Get a seat, we up in the winter suite, finna eat, we sitting with Jesus. Dropping it for the God risen, he alive, living in the midst of the people. Try me, and if you're not feeling it, then bye, really, I ain't feeling you either. Whether or not you feel it, I'm not forgetting what God has given to me. I could be locked up inside the prison and not to visit or preach. God willing, I'ma give him the gospel till I'm not in position to speak. You can knock it, but I'ma rock with the rock, and I'm not missing a beat. Listen to me, dog, I was up in Walmart with a scan gun for the canned goods. I could rap good, but I did what I could for the fam, that's manhood. Quit looking for the quick lick. Told God if you're not with it, I quit this. That's when he told me no, you just.
So now that we got the top blended, I'm gonna go to the bottom part and catch the fade from the bottom. So that's gonna be the same step, just with no guard on. So we're going close, quarter, 3/4, and then open should be in the middle section that we set at the beginning. Now I know I'm doing it backwards. I typically do this almost all the time. I don't know, I got comfortable with doing it this way, but if you feel like this can confuse you, once you set those guidelines at the beginning, the ball line, the middle line, and then you knock out the weight at the top, you could just start fading from the bottom and start with no guard, doing close, quarter, 3/4, and open. Then put your 0 guard on and start from there and fade all the way through. For me, I just start at the middle, then fade out the top, and then I come to the bottom and fade the bottom into the top.
The blood we covered by it, speaking up when everyone is silent. Think we don't, man, y'all confused. We be dropping jewels like a drunken pirate. Showing up the parties uninvited with the Sunday fire. I be praising God with, probably leaving everyone inspired. If they spirits any higher, they would mosh pit. We don't really want that, do we? Nah. Man, I never care what I haters say. Y'all tripping, my sauce dripping like a winter coach bathed in a Gatorade. Ooh, flaming at 808. Straight propane, let me demonstrate. Put 5 to the beat and do the same thing Eminem and Jay did a renegade.
Look up, man, look at what I got cooked up. Could've took us with a beam in the touch, but no, good God, that's mean in the clutch. Teaming it up with a rough bunch, and I don't play game like putt-putt. Gotta let God be the gut punch.
Subscribe.
He's running the play like hunt. If you really trying to have a dust up, tuck your pride and recognize what you're.
Okay, we're at our last part of the fade, which is just a spot check. We did our debulking, we did our fading. Now all I'm doing is going around and catching spots that I don't like and make the blend stand out a little bit more. Like I said, for this part right here, I always say that it just takes development, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. You'll be able to see the spots that you don't like, and you'll be able to address them. And the reason why we have those fading steps and we do the guidelines is for this process too. You can know exactly what level you need to be on to get those spots out. So if you're way at the top, you know you need to put your guard on to fade that out. If you're at the bottom, you know you need to take the guard off to address the bottom. So this part right here is just gonna make your fade stand out. So this part, although it's the last part, it's real important that you get the eye development so you can make your fades stand out.
You could've got the smoke free, but now I'm on my new and I am smoke free. I'm off that new wine, so pour another cup. Got me tipsy, if you with me, you already know what's up. Know you hate to see me do right, I had to level up. This new level got new devils, you should never be the one.
So yeah, I'm hoping that these videos are helpful to you. Like, If you're still here looking at it right now, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, just help support the channel. I really appreciate all the love that I've been getting and all the subscriptions. I really appreciate that. But like I said, if this is helpful to you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see all the videos that I come out with in the future. With that being said, we're about to do the other side, and it's the same thing. We start with our debulking, which, like I said, in this process, we set our bottom line. That's what I'm doing right now, setting my bottom line. Then after that, we can knock out the weight, or let me say this. You set the bottom line, then you can set the middle line and knock out the weight at the top. And that's how you can do your debulking. You can do it in any order that you want to do, but that's pretty much the debulking stage. So you set the bottom line. Right now I'm knocking out the weight, and then I'm going to set my middle line after.
My child, but you want all this work today. I can tell it when you see us, you feel some type of way. So you see, I put the toys away, and now you wanna play. Till I huff and then I puff and I go.
So now we're about to put the middle guideline, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make sure everyone understands. This is the debulking part of the haircut. So what we do in this part, we just set our bottom line, which is that ball line. We set that middle line, what I'm doing right now, and then we knock out the weight at the top. And that sets us up to do the fade. After we do these steps, then we'll start fading.
With a conscience, more challenge. You know why I'm here, oh, you know why I'm here. Blind leading blindness, only what you find here. Hard to be kind here when they don't want your kind here. Kevin Elijah, faith of a child that never be molded over as long as I'm holding John here.
Okay, so now we're in our fading. We put on our 0 guard or the 1/16 guard, and we're going close, quarter, 3/4, then open.
I just out here on my job, but you want all this work today. I can tell it when you see us, you feel some type of way. So you see, I put the toys away, and now you wanna play. Till I huff and then I puff and I blow all your smoke away. Yeah. I just leveled up and ain't no smoking on this flow. You're too afraid to grow, that's why we both in on this flow. Years ago you could've got the smoke free.
Remember, each time that you go up, that you go over each section like 2 or 3 times. Just make sure you go over that section thoroughly, and that you're using the corner of your clipper, so you don't create any more heavy lines. You want to fade it out, so you're going to use the corners so you don't create those heavy lines.
You hold me down like crazy. Who knows me like you know me? And when the sun don't shine at all, long as you're next to me, I know that it's okay. And if not, it will one day.
Even when you call, been there, gon' be there. Even when you fall, know you see me there. We've been through it all, just know that it's okay. And if not, it will one day.
I'll sing to the...
Right now we're still at the top of the fade. We're just making sure we got it all blended well. I'm at the very top part with all the way open, and I'm using the corner of my clipper to make sure I have it blended well. From there I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to blend that into the top. Like I said before, I just hope that I'm breaking it down well enough for everyone. I know I might be repeating everything over and over, but the best way to learn something is through repetition. So if you hear it over and over, sooner or later it will catch.
Even when you call, been there, gon' be there. Even when you fall, know you see me there. We've been through it all, just know that it's okay. And if not, it will one day. I'll sing to the
Also, I want to point out this process you can do with any texture of hair, any style of hair. The only change that might happen is what guard you would use when you're at the top. If they have a lot of hair on the top, you might have to use the number 2 to do the debulking with, or number 3. But the fading process is always the same. So it's nothing different from a different texture of hair. It's always the same. It's just how much hair you're gonna leave on the head. That's the part that you have to determine with your client. But besides that, the whole process of fading is the same.
Why am I still down? Why am I still down? Ain't I supposed to be covered in your peace? I know you said that I would be above and not beneath. Then why am I so down? Why am I so down? Why am I so down? Why am I so down?
So we're getting close to the end of this blend. I'm doing a spot check again, and but everything looks pretty good. There's little to no spots in the fade, so it's something that I'm happy with. And like I said, the more your eyes develop, the better you get with that. Right now we're about to set up for the edge up.
Some kind of peace of mind, yeah, some peace of mind. Why do I go through depression? You tell me that
When you're doing your edge up, less means more, so you want to take off the least amount of hair and make the greatest amount of impact. So just keep that in mind. If you could take off less and get a sharp lining, that's what you want to do. Another part of that battle is just your clippers, making sure you have a sharp blade and that they're adjusted correctly. Because if the blade is dull or if it's not adjusted right, you can go over it and go over it, but you won't get that sharp lining that you want. So if your liners aren't coming out the way you want to, just do that troubleshooting and you'll be able to figure it out.
why am I so down? Why am I so down? Lately I've been beside myself. Feels like I'm losing me. Help me find myself. So much is racing through my mind.
So guys, we're basically at the end of this video, and if you're still here, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate the love, all the subscriptions and the likes. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything that I'm doing on this channel. Like I say, I appreciate all the love. This is TK with Cuts by Kelly, and I appreciate you.
Why am I still down? Why am I still down? Why am I still down? Ain't I supposed to be covered in your